The red flag that is entering into a relationship too quickly, way too quickly. Hi, I'm your host. How do you like that for an intro? I don't know, I've been thinking about getting, upping the quality of my delivery in these videos. So we'll see how it goes. I don't want it to be fake, I want it to be me, but I want to kind of get my thoughts across clearer, not get off topic too much, and project a little more, enunciate a little more, which I am able to do. So I'm walking around because I can't find my cell phone. I was going to talk about that. Okay, it's in the bathroom. Just took my shower. All right, I'm off. I was good for a bit. Now I'm not. Okay, so the red flags. Of course, I always talk about it when it happens to me, at the time it happens to me, or at the time an attempt happens to me. At the same time, I'm going to wash these dishes because it's gross. Task completion, I'm always running after the task completion, right? Just trying to keep up with everything. So, I didn't have as many hours sleep, but I'm okay. So, what happened yesterday was, on this app called Scruff, gay dating app, gay sex app, I did the equivalent of the Facebook poking, which is a woof, to this guy, he was about 60 years old in New York, and he did the same thing back, and then it just went from 0 to 100. Now I know here in Montreal, people are slow, it's chill, not like areas in Mexico. Certain areas in Mexico, when I went to visit the non-touristy areas in Mexico, it's really slow. Like, people hang their laundry out. They have the time to do that. Not that slow, but not like New York where everyone's in a rush all the time. Or even Toronto. So, let me see if I can't pull out all the conversation because with this app what happens is, let me see if I get to the main, I can't get to the main page. But what happens is, because I'm not paying $15 a month, I'm using the free version, the conversation is lost quickly on the other end. On my end, I think it's still there, but if he sent pictures or whatever, they're all faded out or grayed out. So let me just write him here, because he sent me a good morning. Okay, it says he's 58. So I'm just going to write, he says morning. Hold on. Okay, so it's like he started off the conversation was like, "Wow, I didn't know you fitness guys like bears, like chubby, big guys," which I do. A lot of times they're kind of intimidated by me, as in per that phrase, But it got worse. He kept pushing and pushing, and since like he sent me a couple pictures, he's like, "What do you think of that? What do you think of that? What do you think of that?" And honestly, they were okay, but I'm not drooling over it, So I'm like, okay. So it already kind of getting me out of my zone of he was okay enough that I would hit him up, but not like the guy I'm seeing now, who's hot. He's hot enough, but I was more interested in the fact that he was older and he looked like he had a head on his shoulders from his profile. But then he started sending me pictures. What do you think of that? What do you think of that? And I'm like, oh no, this is going really bad. this is going really bad. And now that I'm talking about it, it's like, oh my god, this geezer needs validation. That's what I'm thinking. This geezer needs validation. I don't mean the English version of geezer. I mean the American Canadian version of geezer, meaning an old fuck. Sorry if all of you are, any of you are in your 60s. I'm in my 50s, so it's okay, you know. But it's just wow. And then it got into what was the last? Oh yeah. Then he started sending me pictures with leather, like almost a harness with pants and a leather hat. And I'm like, oh, you're a freak, are you? And I was trying to make conversation. Then he was like, oh, what? You don't like that? I'm sorry. You're not into that? Like he was always trying to get validation from me or trying to. You know what I mean? Just to back up a bit, he was like, so what's your story? You know all about me, what's your story? I don't know anything about him. He wrote something in his profile, so I know something, but my profile doesn't have anything in it. It has a link to my Instagram page and whatever. I do use this profile to get clients also, so that's the contradiction with me. But you just have to talk to me and we get to know each other. So if people don't want to get to know me, I know profiles are like, they're like, I've been through this already, but I decided not to put anything up. It wasn't enough for me to change and put a profile, write something about me. So, people like me, they'll get to talk to me and get to know me. If they don't, and they're put off by there's nothing on my profile, except for my fitness website and my Instagram and the basics, then that's also fine. It might change, I might do something. I think about it every now and then, but I didn't. So he's asking me, what's your story? And do you have any pictures to send? I'm like, everything's on my Instagram. And then he's asking for sexy pictures. And I'm like, everything's on my Instagram. I'm not sending anything more that I don't post on my Instagram. I have a few shirtless photos because, you know, I'm a trainer, so it's part of the game. And that's it. There's no dick, there's no ass, there's no wearing leather, there's no whatever. And that's it. I just don't want it. And he's not even sending me anything that's remotely to that level. You know, a few shirtless pictures and then a few with leather is tame compared to what I perceived he was asking. So anyways, so I kept feeling out of my element, and I'm like, and then I mentioned something like, oh, you like to debate. And he's like, how so? How do you think? I felt it was really like aggressive. And I felt like I was in a speed dating thing. And it was a bit too much, and it was more than I expected. I expected a little chiller, you know what I mean? Where did I end off here? Good night, tomorrow you can tell me more about that. Yeah, we ended off like about the freak thing. Basically, I mean, I'm trying to like, okay, we're not that far off. We're in the East Coast, he's in New York, I'm in Montreal. If you come, or I come, we could kind of like slowly get to know each other. Not that slow, but this is too fast, you know. And he looks like he's trying to get everything known by text quickly. And so it's off with that. And yeah, I mean, I would still talk to him, but he sent me a morning, David, that's my name, this morning, and I waited an hour or so before answering because it's like too much. So knowing what I know now, and also dealing with what I'm dealing with my therapist, a lot of times I you know, there's an impulsivity with me that, you know, just take it slow. And even if I don't answer, if I just decide not to answer, which I do with a lot of people if I'm not into it anymore, see where they go. If they start to get like crazy, like they say, oh, you ignore me, oh, you're this, oh, you're that, and then they start getting a little mean, that's an indication that, whoa, narcissist much, you know what I mean? And that's my filter, you know, but I did just answer him, so I'll just slow it up and see what it is. But yeah, this is already I pegged this as not too healthy. I gotta set a lot of boundaries with this guy, and it's like, that's sad. I mean, it's sad, I find. So that's what I wanted to say on that. Talk to you next time.